Hi, everybody. Dan Illman and Mike Beer. The DRF race of the day for Wednesday, November the 9th is race number 7 at Finger Lakes. We're going 3/4 of a mile. This race is for New York bred allowance horses, now winners of one restricted race. Our coverage is presented by DRF Bets. Let's take a look at the field. Please scan the QR code for race of the day access on mobile. Mike Zircon, the number 8, is your 8-5 morning line favorite. 86 Beyer speed figure last time out. Doesn't seem like an anomaly. Popped an 83 in the most recent fast track try 3 starts back.
Yeah, he's undefeated on fast dirt to this point, and he's also just so lightly raced in. He's facing a bunch of horses here who, not only have already had their chances, but most of them are claiming type horses, which he clearly is not. I think he's way the horse to beat in here.
He does like to be forwardly placed in his races, however, as does several of the horses to his inside. We throw up the Timeform US pace projector, and I think you could make a case for any of the first 5 horses to show big speed. Victory Built is certainly fast. He's been on the lead in his last 4 races at the pace call. Son of Darkness, the 5. This is a horse who's been on the lead in 5 of his last 6 starts at the pace call. Zircon will likely be chasing them outside.
Yeah, I mean, that's the trip that Zircon got last time when he ran down Victory Built. He just he kept up close, but he wasn't on the lead. He sat on the outside and he ran him down through the stretch. I envision a similar trip for him this time, Dan. Maybe it's a little bit of a bigger field. There's perhaps a little more speed for him to have to deal with this time, but he's drawn outside. He's going to get that kind of a stalking trip. I do think Victory Built might be the fastest of the others early anyway.
The number 1 Out of Tune has won 2 of his last 3 sprint races. The problem was the loss came last time out when he was stepped up to this level and he was dismissed at 27-1. He outran those odds, finishing 4th. I guess he is hoping for a hot pace. He's likely to save ground in mid-pack and try to come with one run.
Yeah, we'll see if he can muster up something here and run what it's going to take from him, Dan. It feels like the race of his life, even just to get a piece of this thing.
Father Walsh is the number 2, and he ran a nice race 2 starts back when able to get to the lead, clear off, kind of drop the pace down, going 5.5 furlongs. They weren't going very fast, and then spurred it away. That was a condition claiming race. He jumped up to this level last time out. He showed some speed. He tired. He is a horse that has speed, but according to Timeform US, and I technically agree, I'm not sure he's as quick as some of the others.
Yeah, I didn't think so either. He's won 3 times in his life. Every one of those races, he was in control of the pace early. It feels like he can't get that position in here. All 3 of those ones also did either 4.5 or 5.5 furlongs. He's in pretty tough here.
Here's a horse that could benefit from a fast pace, and it's the number 3, Your Awesome Boss. We're going to go back to his most recent start. Now, you have to go back all the way to the end of July, but Your Awesome Boss sits off the pace in this 5.5 furlong race, and he sweeps by to win. The 6th place horse would come back to earn a 60 Beyer when second, but only in a $5,000 beaten claimer. This horse has run well fresh in the past, has the right running style, is stepping up in class.
Yeah, a couple of faster back races to get to, too, if you want to look at him that way. Trainer change for his return from the layoff here, Dan. We'll see if he can get back. I mean, he really only has one race that will give him a real chance here, but at least he ran it.
Victory Built is the number 4. Timeform US believes he's the quickest. Mike and I think he's the quickest as well coming out of the gate. The problem with Victory Built is he kind of settles for minor awards. 13 seconds, 6 thirds, some 39 lifetime starts. Last time out, he did make the lead. Zircon was just better when he finished 3rd.
Yeah, and that was the case 4 starts back as well. He just pulled a similar trip that day, did, and he ran. I want to say that he ran well in both of those races. He's actually run well in each of his last 4 starts, but he just never wins. And even though he ran well against Zircon in those two losses, it's not like he had big excuses, Dan. He got the trip that he wanted in those races, made the early lead, was clear, and he just could not hold that horse off.
Son of Darkness is coming into this race in good form. Let's watch his most recent start. Condition claimer going 5.5 on October the 18th. Showed good speed in this race. Clears off to a clear lead at the 3/16 pole. Doesn't change leads in the stretch. Ends up running second. The 4th place horse did come back to win with a 74 Beyer in an $11,000 beaten claimer. So he faced some fast claimers. Now he's going to have to step up against other speeds into the allowance ranks.
Yeah, he's just another horse who it's hard on the class rise in particular. It's just hard to like him, Dan, because you know what he wants to do. to be most effective is to be out there, use his speed, and make the early lead. And even if he somehow makes it in this race, then he's going to have to go very, very fast.
Another horse that likes to be quick out of the gate is the 6 Bowing Snowman. Let's watch his last race. Now, this is a pretty big jump up in class for Bowing Snowman, because in the start we're watching right now, it's a $5,000 now winners of 4 life. So he's really double jumping up in class. He showed speed. He allows a horse to come through down towards the inside. He's pretty game to finish second. This was a very fast pace, 22-1 for the opening quarter.
Yeah, he did do a lot of hard work in this race. And unfortunately for him, he's not going to be able to hold on, because it did look like there in the late stages, like he was going to get the job done. And he couldn't quite do it. He's also another horse. Not only does he want to be forward in a race that's probably going to be running at a fast pace, he doesn't have the back races that make him a true contender in here.
And 2 weeks after the race we just saw, 9 days ago, he was listed at a vet scratch at Finger Lakes. Invaluable Will is a horse that I guess can come from off the pace. And if he repeats his Beyer earned over a sloppy track 2 starts back, that's 75. It puts him in the mix. Last time out, though, no match for Zircon. Didn't break very well over that fast going, but really just didn't make up a lot of late ground. A quick pace helps him out. Another horse likes to run second or third.
Yeah, and that could work for you in this race, though, if he's just going to sit, maybe make one run and do a quick pace here. Obviously, try to get to the lead in the late stages, but at least pick up some pieces here. You could easily use this horse underneath. No match for Zircon last time, but he finished ahead of that horse 2 starts back.
Here is Zircon, a perfect 4 for 4 over fast going. We'll watch his most recent start. Victory Built had the lead. Zircon tracked outside. Zircon takes over, puts away Victory Built, holds off the closer. Extremely strong 86 Beyer speed figure for this level. Nice outside post position, allows him to get that sort of stalking trip. And Jockey Gomez had his choice, this one or Son of Darkness. He lands on Zircon.
Yeah, I mean, he lands on the horse to beat in the race. And the horse that he's holding off there, Civil Service, is a horse that's probably better than anything he's facing in here as well. I guess the key, Dan, is that his rider just really has to take care not to get this horse too involved early on, because he does have enough speed to be forward. But I don't think you can get him hooked up like they did 2 starts back, because that really cost him.
Here's the 9 Interstate, who's cutting all the way back in distance, and considering the expected fast pace, could easily be outrun in the early going. It's a good chance that this distance is a bit sharp for Interstate, but we'll watch his most recent race. This is the first off the claim, going a 2-turn mile and 70 yards, and he rallied from well out of it to win. Now they're going to take the blinkers off of the win. An interesting move to be sure, but this horse is in good form. He's going to get the right setup. He just must avoid being outrun early.
Yeah, you don't want to get too far away, I guess, but they're supposed to be really going in front of him, and I guess that could help his chances, see if he can go back to back. Took a little bit of a step forward last time, has to take another one.
Before we get to our top selections, please click the subscribe button on the Daily Racing Form YouTube channel for all the latest DRF video offerings. Top pick time for our Thursday race of the day, coverage presented by DRF Bets. Zircon is the moto horse in this race, and he's the most likely winner. Again, as Mike mentioned, must avoid being too close to that fast pace, but he'll likely be in the thick of things turning for home, and his Beyers are very strong.
Yeah, I just couldn't find the alternative. Not only are his Beyers strong, Dan, he's the lightly raced horse. He's got all the upside. He finds himself right back in another very good spot here.
8473 for Mike, 8453 for me. It's the Wednesday race of the day, the 7th at Finger Lakes. Good luck.